Attitude. Because my motto for the course is, I only win when you win, I am really gonna try my best to guide you to victory. But this responsibility has to be shared between us to work. In order to help stimulate your mind and prepare you for your journey, I'm gonna ask you to do something for me. Actually, let me rephrase that. I'm gonna ask you to do something for yourself. I'm gonna ask you to participate, and participate often. Throughout the course, I will assign action items, which will help move you closer to our goals. This way, as you absorb the content mentally, you will also be taking the necessary steps in order to have a running start when my bit is over. I also encourage participation in the discussion section, whether that means asking a question, sharing your progress, or engaging with the other students.
Why is participating in the discussion section important?
Well, I could simply reference that asking questions, sharing your progress, or engaging with other students online adds value to the web, requires hard work, and uses human creativity, which, as you might recall, are the governing principles on which SEO is based on. Like Mr. Miyagi from The Karate Kid, I aim to train the areas of success which may not be very obvious in the beginning, but will be the linchpins as you progress in your journey of SEO domination. For those unconvinced by the Karate Kid example, let me present another example that is far more grounded in science, which took place at University of California, Berkeley. This study was initially done to test how much an average student remembered after attending a lecture in university. An experiment was set up where students exiting a lecture were quizzed on how much they remembered in the hallways. The results of this experiment were shocking for more than one reason. Firstly, the average student remembered only 3% of what was taught after a lecture. I know, shockingly low. The other reason this experiment was profound was because the experiment found that students who asked just one question remembered 25% of the lecture, which was an 833% increase from the 3% average. The reasoning behind this jump was that students who asked questions had to firstly be listening and absorbing the material. Secondly, students who asked questions had to create the question in their mind, which increased brain activity. After the question was created, it was repeated many times in the student's mind before it was asked. Repeating the question created a connection in the mind between the topic that was being covered and things the student already knew. This process led to an 833% increase in remembering. As Socrates once famously said, there is no learning without remembering. Any guesses for how much remembering jumped when students asked 2 questions? 50%. Yes, 50% increase in remembering for those students who asked 2 questions. An amazing 1,667% increase from the original 3%. So, where does that leave us? If you are committed to watching this course, then participate. Don't waste your time and leave with only 3% when you can so easily leave with so much more. I promise I will never ask you to do something that won't move you in the right direction. Moreover, none of the action items will be complicated or cost any money. They will require only as much effort and creativity as you can muster up at that moment. So, let's begin with our very first action item. In the discussion section, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us your name, what you're working on, and why you're taking this course, and anything else you want to share with us. The length of your answer is not as important as the fact that you're making an effort.